Get strong.
Jonathan Bailey. Jonathan Bailey did not only achieve fame, rather, he became the type of celebrity that people developed an emotional attachment to. It is possible that this was the most unexpected aspect of his climb to prominence. Jonathan Bailey was able to produce something more profound in this day and age, when celebrity culture is advancing at a breakneck pace and online attention is vanishing nearly quickly. Fans were not only seeing him on TV, rather, they were emotionally engaging in him. Their support for him, defense of him, analysis of his interviews, celebration of his achievement, and the fact that they found aspects of themselves mirrored in his trip were all things that they did. In 2022, as the second season of Bridgerton shot to the top of the charts throughout the world, social media almost immediately became obsessed with Jonathan Bailey. An overwhelming number of viewers uploaded modifications to social media sites such as TikTok, X, Instagram, and Reddit that concentrated only on his facial expressions, speech, body language, and the connection he had with Simone Ashley. There were whole collections that were devoted to what admirers jokingly referred to as the Anthony Bridgerton gaze. These were the emotionally charged glances that Bailey gave with an astounding level of intensity. In a statement that went viral, a fan said, "Jonathan Bailey stares at people like he is memorizing their soul." This comment precisely encapsulated the situation. No actor has ever made desire appear this agonizing and lovely at the same time, commented another admirer, commenting on the actor's performance. Thousands more people agreed. Yearning grew so ingrained in Bailey's public persona that it was virtually impossible to separate the two. His fans often referred to him as the king of longing due to the emotional strain that he brought to situations that included romantic relationships. The performances of Bailey had an emotional fragility below the charm, in contrast to the majority of traditional leading men who depended only on their self-assurance or their physical beauty. Immediately, audiences were aware of it. Numerous followers dissected even the most minute aspects of his performance on the platform TikTok. Prior to speaking, there was a little pause. During emotionally charged situations, a shaky breath occurs. The manner in which Anthony Bridgerton's complete facial expression became more kind whenever Kate Sharma entered the room. From the perspective of many viewers, Bailey transformed what might have been a typical love drama into something that left an indelible impression on them emotionally. The following is an example of a statement that has gained a lot of attention on the internet. Jonathan Bailey performs with his full face, especially his eyes. Before he even talks, you can virtually see every emotion that he is experiencing. "I began watching Bridgerton for pleasure, and I ended being emotionally scarred due to Jonathan Bailey's eye contact," quipped another fan. "It was because of his close eye contact." The contrast between Bailey's dramatic film presence and his demeanor in real life was what intrigued spectators even more than the intensity of his screen presence. Fans had the expectation that he would be icy, unrealistically polished, or too conscious of his obvious looks. Interviews, on the other hand, showed a guy who often gave off the impression of being modest, humorous, little uncomfortable, and profoundly introspective. This disconnection simply served to increase the audience's adoration for him. Due to the fact that people considered Bailey to be surprisingly pleasant, videos of him smiling during interviews quickly went over the internet. A number of people made remarks about how emotionally knowledgeable he seemed to be in comparison to the culture of regular celebrity interviews. Bailey often talked in a real manner about issues such as anxiety, vulnerability, pressure, and identity, as opposed to providing replies that were robotic. When he was frank about how the entertainment world treats homosexual performers, his fans really bonded with him. Bailey's discussion of being cautioned that out gay males could not effectively portray straight love leads elicited an emotional response from the audience. There were a lot of LGBTQ+ supporters who characterized his achievement as being very therapeutic. A supporter said on the internet, "Jonathan Bailey's being the internet's favorite romantic lead while being out homosexual seems revolutionary in ways that people do not completely comprehend at this point." According to the words of another individual, he exemplifies what younger gay children needed to witness many years ago, namely that it is not necessary to conceal oneself in order to be desirable, successful, or loved. The publication of Fellow Travelers enhanced the emotional bond that had previously existed between the two of them. While Bridgerton was responsible for establishing Bailey as a fantasy heartthrob, Fellow Travelers brought to light a more profound aspect of his artistic ability. Especially in passages that explored secrecy, political dread, and LGBT love under tyranny, viewers came to applaud the genuine emotional honesty that he gave to the part. Following the airing of emotionally charged episodes, many people took to social media to express their views. "Jonathan Bailey somehow crushed my heart with one glance," wrote one fan in their viewing experience. An additional supporter made the following observation: "His performance is so powerful that you can sense decades of anguish and desire without him ever speaking a word." It was the historical elements of the series that really impacted a lot of people who have been watching it for a long period. Fans said that Bailey's performance had more emotional weight as a result of his personal experiences negotiating the demands of the broader business. One might get the impression that he was aware of, on some level, the underlying anxiety that his character was experiencing. Nevertheless, appreciation for Bailey went beyond only his acting abilities. Additionally, his fashion progression became a huge topic of discussion on the internet. Fans lauded the way he managed to strike a mix between traditional elegance and cheeky confidence. As a result of her appearances in fitted suits at premieres and her experiments with vibrant materials and open-collar styles during fashion campaigns, Bailey has earned a reputation for his subtle refinement. When he was attending events with a red carpet, people regularly commented on how confident he was and how comfortable he was with his own identity. His admirers loved the fact that he did not give the impression of acting in a manner that was either forced or defensive. Jonathan Bailey has the aura of someone who has stopped apologizing for himself years ago, and that confidence is magnetic, according to a tweet that went viral. Others remarked on how invigorating it was to see an out homosexual actor being accepted by mainstream viewers to such a large extent without the actor having to water down his identity. There was a widespread belief among supporters that Bailey represented a cultural change away from prevailing Hollywood tropes. As a natural consequence of the enormous popularity, an obsessive fixation with the internet emerged. Bailey's interviews, clothing, performances, and public appearances were the subject of comprehensive fan accounts that were completely devoted to evaluating. He has gathered millions of views with his edits of his sequences. They joked that they were suffering from Jonathan Bailey brain rot because of the frequency with which he dominated their social media feeds. This was due of the fact that he was so popular. The following for Bailey, on the other hand, seemed to be really supportive of him as a person, in contrast to the majority of celebrity fandoms that are constructed wholly upon fiction. Throughout his interviews and public appearances, his fans frequently lauded his professionalism, his politeness toward his co-stars, and his courteous manner. The statements made by colleagues just helped to bolster the validity of such viewpoint. Members of the cast have described Bailey as being helpful, collaborative, and emotionally supportive while they were working on the scene. This has occurred on many occasions. Due to the fact that they reinforced the sense of someone whose warmth was real rather than fabricated for publicity, fans looked forward to hearing these behind-the-scenes information with a great deal of excitement. Within the fandom, his relationship with Simone Ashley in particular became highly well-liked and quickly gained popularity. During the time that they were on press tours together, the audience appreciated the mutual esteem and comfort that they shown for one another. It looked as if their relationship was built on genuine affection and trust for one another, rather than relying on phony marketing gimmicks to sustain it. Fans often said that Bailey had reignited their interest in conventional romantic leading men, and that it was not his arrogance, but rather his emotional genuineness that had brought about this renaissance. Their assertions were popular. Jonathan Bailey is aware that being gorgeous is not the main criterion in love relationships, as stated in the following comment, which went viral. The objective is to participate in all of the activities that the audience undertakes. It was his ability to evoke powerful emotions that became the major source of his influence over others. When they were watching his performances, spectators often described feeling an unexpected sensation of being overwhelmed. This occurred on many occasions. Individuals have compared his acting style to that of classic romance film actors, who depend on restraint and emotional development rather than overdone dramatics in their performances. His acting style is similar to that of these actors. Bailey, on the other hand, never seemed to be too worried with his renowned ego, according to opinions expressed by fans. However, interviews revealed that he was someone who remembered years of uncertainty previous to the coming of fame. This was the case despite the fact that his popularity blossomed on a worldwide scale. This groundedness comes across as especially effective in the context of the entertainment industry, which is seeing a growing trend of audiences becoming increasingly distrustful of overly created characters. Jonathan Bailey's journey was more than simply an example of individual success for many of his followers. It was also an example of collective success. As a symbol of innovation inside the entertainment business itself, it was a significant event. Old assumptions about who gets to be desired on screen, who gets to depict romantic heroes, and what masculinity may look like in modern Hollywood were challenged by him. He also attacked the old presumptions about who gets to be sought on screen. And it is possible that this is the reason why the feelings of his followers are often defined by a tone that is highly emotional. It is not only a person's physical appearance or their level of expertise that others respond to, there are other factors as well. Jonathan Bailey did not just become famous, observed one fan in a statement that went viral on the internet. This is an example of how they are responding to authenticity, which covers the clear feeling of joy that comes from seeing someone achieve success without deleting key pieces of themselves. It was this remark that provided the most comprehensive account of the situation. He became a genuine illustration of the concept that displaying vulnerability and honesty does not make a person weaker. Rather, it makes them memorable. He became a living example of this reality.
Be strong.